Welcome to the Starboard Podcast, where we're talking everything in the world of windsurfing. Through this series, we're going to meet the dream team riders for Starboard, the designers and shapers, the team coaches, as well as the behind-the-scenes crew that make the brand so successful. We're going to talk about everything from boards, pro series, competitions and events, coaching, tips and techniques, eco-sustainability, board development and design, and basically everything cool that's happening on the water right now, all around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Starboard Podcast, being broadcast, if you like, from here in a super windy afternoon in Vassiliki. Some of you, I'm sure, are listening to this on Spotify, and if you do hear a little rumble, that's because the whole building I'm in is shaking right now. It's about 35 knots out there. And if you're watching this on the podcast channel behind me, I think you can just about see a lot of windsurfers out there. And I do want to be honest from the start. Yes, I am sitting here in a wetsuit, and I've left my kit rigged on the grass just behind me because I was definitely not going to miss today's appointment. I was super excited when I got this connection hooked up about a week or so ago because our guest on the podcast here today, live from Aruba, welcome Joëy Ross.
Thank you so much.
Joey, it's great to have you here. In a moment, I'd love for you just to introduce who you are, where you are, and why you're here. As in, like, a lot of people won't know your name just yet. A lot of people I know do. But first of all, Joey, where are you? I mean, I've given it away a little bit, but where exactly are you?
Right now, I'm in Aruba, and I'm a windsurfer, of course. And I've been windsurfing for a couple years, I think almost 4. And I live on Aruba for 7 years now for my dad's work. He's a military or a soldier. And that's what he does. And I'm born in Holland.
So you're from Holland, and now 4 years ago you moved over to Aruba, which is an amazing place, isn't it? I've got to be honest, yes. I've not visited, but it's on my bucket list. It's somewhere I have to visit. What's the wind at the moment? When was the last time you were on the water?
The last time I was on the water, I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday. Because the other days I had skateboarding lessons and sailing lessons. So, yeah, I didn't have much time. But Sunday I'm going to go again. Sunday.
So it's Saturday today. So it's 3 or 4 days ago you're on the water last. You're back on the water tomorrow. Now, if people don't know who you are, they could probably tell there's a slight age difference in our voice just now. How old are you just now, Joey?
I'm now 11, and I'm born in 2012.
Yeah. And how have you hooked up with Starboard? What's the deal here? Why am I so excited to chat to you, and why might people know your name a little bit already?
Now, it started as a normal hobby, but that hobby got kind of very big, and I started learning how to get in the foot straps and learn how to get planning. And now Oda has asked me to get in the Starboard Dream Team. And now it's all happening. Now I'm coming in the windsurfing world.
Nice. So that's Oda, obviously a huge name in windsurfing. You've got some of probably the biggest names in windsurfing that are backing you as well just now. So who else have you connected in with? Who do you windsurf with? Name drop some people for me. Who are your friends?
Well, Louise van der Meulen, she's also in the Starboard Dream Team. Yeah. She came exactly the same day that I came in the Starboard Dream Team. We both came together in it. And she's just super sweet and nice, and she's very cool. And yeah, she also gives me a lot of tips in my jibes and that stuff. And we have Olivier. He's also a professional windsurfer. He sails with Neil Pride and also Starboard. And I went with him and Louise to Bonaire like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And you probably know Sarakita. I sail with her a lot when she's on the island. And
big name,
yeah, she's just
nice and early.
Yeah, she's just awesome with the kids and stuff, and she's a professional. Yeah.
Sarah's amazing. She was on this podcast a week or 2 weeks ago. Very, very recently, there's a podcast that we did with her. There's something I didn't know, actually. I don't know if you know this. No, you wouldn't know this, Sarah. I'm about to tell you a story. My brother actually had 2 snails when he was at university, and he called one Sarah and the other one Kita, just because he really liked her as a windsurfer. He was like, she's a cool girl, so I'm going to name my snails after her.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Stranger story when he realized that I was doing a podcast with her. Maybe someone out there, and I'd love to see this in the comments, maybe someone now has got some animals called Joey and Ross because you're an inspiration to them.
Maybe. Would be cool.
Now, Joey, where are you at now with your windsurfing? What's the steps you're about to start taking?
I want to try go a little bit freestyle with the air jibes because I'm not so good at freestyle. But I really like to do jumps with my normal slalom board. And yeah, I can do some jumps, but not that high. But I'm getting somewhere. And I'm also learning how to do the lay down jibes and the power jibes. But now I really need to learn to sail with the cambers because I have the 0.7 AC1 and New Pride, but they're both too heavy for me because I'm not so strong. And if I fall in deep water, I can't get the sail up again because it's so heavy and it just floods with water.
Yeah. Water signing with cams is much harder than normal non-cam sails. I mean, those AC1s are heavy sail. Well, not just the AC1s. They're an amazing, powerful sail, but any full cam slalom sail, which is what you normally do, isn't it? Slalom racing. Those sails are heavy. I mean, for me, that's the big reason I use the AC0, which is like a no-cam version of it, rather than the AC1. It's just they're so heavy and so awkward to water start.
Yeah.
Have you tried any other sails that are, instead of being full slalom, have you tried some sort of free race, no cam? What were you using before the AC1?
I now use a 4.5 Maui sails.
Yeah.
But it's a slalom, but it has no cambers. And I also have a Wizard Pro 4.5 from Sarakita.
Ah, nice. Wizard's the wave sail, isn't it? Is that right? Am I getting that wrong?
Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Not as fast, but much lighter and much easier to handle. But specifically, if you're trying to improve your jibes, it's definitely easier to learn them on a no-cammed, non-slalom sail, like a wave sail or a freestyle sail, than it would be doing it on the full cam. They go in a straight line well, but they're heavy, like you say, to make it round a corner and actually keep going is difficult.
Yeah.
So what about competitions? Are you starting to get into events and slalom racing?
Yes. I told you I went 2 weeks ago. I went to the PWA in Bonaire.
Yeah.
And I got first. It went very good. It went very well. My starts were awesome and the jibes were pretty good. So it worked out really well. And before that, I think 1 week before the PWA in Bonaire, we had the Aruba High Wind from this shirt. It's from it's like a competition on Aruba, and you race. It's like a really Caribbean event.
Love it. And the races you're doing, are they slalom downwind events or are they full race course style events? What sort of racing is it?
So you have freestyle, and you don't have waves in Aruba. You don't really have waves, only in North, but it's hard to come there because there's like huge rocks you have to walk over, and so you don't want to go in North. So you can't really wave sail in Aruba, but it's perfect to go freestyling in Aruba and slaloming because you can, the chops are not super high, but if you go a little more out, it's pretty high. And sometimes the wind is hard, but it's very consistent. And there's a lot of gusts also. But on the normal days, it's just like 20 knots, I think. Yeah, around 20 knots.
Nice. That's a good strength to be playing in. Much more than that starts to become a battle, and much less you just need a really big sail to get going. Sounds like you're living the dream with not too choppy, not too gusty, just 20 knots.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes it's hard days, and then it gets like 30 knots or 35.
Yeah. We had that yesterday, and I think now, looking out, I was on a 4-meter full power, and it must be more than 30 knots right now. It's it's pretty breezy here. I can feel I hope they're not affecting the audio. I can still hear these windows shaking just a little bit behind me.
Wow.
So, Joey, can we rewind a little bit? I want to know how you got into windsurfing. Like, were you born in the ocean? Is it something you grew up sailing, or did you find it once you moved to Aruba?
No, we moved to Aruba from Holland, and then we were just riding. I think we did a road trip for the first time, and then we stopped at a beach, and then we went to a place that's it's called Vela. It's a place in Aruba, and it gave lessons to a few kids, but one kid didn't come, and they needed him. So then I was replaced in that place, so I could learn how to windsurf. You were only allowed to join when you were 8, but I was 7, and in 1 week I turned 8, so they did let me.
Sneaking in.
That's how I came into windsurfing.
Yeah. And when you started it, you were already confident in the water, or you were a bit nervous getting in the sea?
Well, the first week I was super scared. I didn't want to go to the beach because I was scared about the animals and the current and the wind. I didn't like it. And then I started doing it more, and I started slowly getting into it, and now I love it. Yeah.
And I hear you've got a bit of a nickname amongst the crew, or at least amongst Sarah and Oda. What nickname have they given you?
They give me the battery, the Duracell.
The Duracell bunny.
Yeah.
Nice. And why is that? Explain a little bit for us.
Because normally all the people on Aruba go sailing for less than 4 hours, and I stay on the water for 6 hours a day. Yeah, around 6 hours.
It's a lot of windsurfing. Like, I'd love to be able to do 6 hours. I'm pretty sure I can't. Today I did a clinic for 2 hours. I've had lunch, and I've done another hour and a bit now, and I can feel that I'm flagging a bit. Don't worry, I'll pull it out. We've got another hour or two in the water now, but I don't think I can do 6 hours like you can.
Yeah, it's okay.
Easy for you. When you're as good as you, it's easy, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned skateboarding, I think you just said before. What other sports are you doing as well right now?
Well, I do scuba diving. I just got my diving, I don't know how to say it, but let's just call it the diving license plate. So I'm allowed to dive until 12 meters deep. Yeah.
Nice. So you've got a light wind thing that you can do when the wind isn't blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last time I did that in the night, and we saw a lot of beautiful animals. We saw huge crabs and moray eels and littlebacks. It's like a huge turtle. And normal turtles and octopuses, stingrays. It was awesome.
It looks like an amazing place to go scuba diving, Aruba. The color of that water it's similar sort of color to here, except this bit is only just 100 meters here. The whole ocean is this crystal bluey turquoise. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it is the whole ocean but if you fall and just imagine your mast breaks there and you don't know how to fix it, there are some rescue boats, but it doesn't, well, it does. It's gonna pick you up, of course, but if it doesn't see you, you do have to learn how to fix your mast, or if your fin breaks because of a turtle, you do know how to fix it, because if you don't, you just the current takes you, and in Bonaire you have like a mangrove, so you don't like get onto the open sea, you know. And in Aruba we have the open sea, so if you fall and you don't know how to get back up again, probably a boat comes, but if it doesn't, you go on the open sea, so you have a very big problem then.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you mentioned just before about how quiet it is in Aruba on the waters there. It's not like there's hundreds of people looking out for you. You know,
No.
what we have here, there's always someone here looking out for you, and we have so many safety boats. This is probably one of the safest bays in the world, despite there being so many people. But that's not your experience just there. But I guess the plus side is you're sailing with a team, you're sailing with other riders, you've got buddies on the water, and I guess your parents are in the land, even if they're not on the water with you.
Yeah, my dad sometimes goes with me, but on a rescue boat. And then we go training with the starts or the buoys. So he goes on the boat and then he throws the buoys in the water. And then he just stands on the reef. We have like a huge reef on Aruba. So you can just take a break on the reef. And then 5 meters to your right, you have the open ocean again. Yeah, it's perfect
cool.
place to rest.
So you've got all these other famous... Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, and then you can just... Then I normally try to jibe around my dad. So he sees if I slip or something, and he's like, tips, you can do this better, you can do that better. So he normally gives me tips in a jibe or the starts. Yeah.
Nice. That's a great way of doing it. Your dad on a boat filming you. Has he become by default your coach? Is he the one that's now pushing you to get better and helping you through everything?
Well, he's trying to, but we have Jordan. He's also someone from Aruba, and he's a professional freestyler. He does flacas and double culos and no-handed, but it's awesome to see him on the water. He's normally a freestyler, but he can also go slalom. And he also really loves to kite. And he's like the main coach now. Because he used to be a professional back in these days. And yeah.
But now he's getting a bit old, is he?
Well, he's still very, very good. But I think he was a little better back in those days.
Carefully phrased. Very well done. Now, when you've got someone filming on a boat, when you've got someone on a boat, one of the guys training you, coaching you, do you do a lot of video feedback to yourself and amongst the team? Do you have someone filming you to then watch what you're doing well and what you can improve on?
Yes, because sometimes my dad, we have a GoPro, and he goes on the boat and he films me with the GoPro. And then when we get home, he shows me the footage. And then he's like, you can turn your hand to the mast more or something like that. And then I learn, that way, kind of.
That's the best way, I think, of learning. You know, the feedback and some coaching along the way is amazing, but having a video that you can see, and whether it's you or your coach giving you feedback, you can learn so much from it. Speaking of videos, you're now new to Instagram as well, aren't you? You're going to spread the word and show people what you are. So, like I said, I think a lot of people will know your name and will have seen you on the PWA results recently. But if they don't know you, what's your Instagram handle? How can people find who's Joëy Ross?
I have a profile picture from me and Bonaire windsurfing. And I'm like, yes, because I won the last final heat. And that's the heat I really won. Yeah,
so if you're watching this, if people are watching this on YouTube, that's the profile picture just there. But what's the handle? What's the name they need to search to find you, Joey?
It's Joëy.Ross. So my front name and my back name, I think you call it like that.
Yep.
And then .windsurfing.
That's it. Joëy.Ross.windsurf. And they will be able to find everything. And what would be really cool to see on that is as your Instagram starts to grow and as you start getting used to using the social media, posting the videos of you learning and progressing along there. Now, something I've definitely seen through my Instagram channel and from lots of other windsurfers online is it's really cool to see us providing feedback on ourselves of what we've done well and not done well. So if you're learning to improve your laydown jibes and your slalom jibes, or your start, or whatever else it may be, it'll be really cool to see where they're at now. And then when you have some more videos in a month, we can see, whoa, Joey is improving quickly. And you can almost describe your process to the guys that are watching going, well, this is what I did better, and this is how I learned.
Yeah, because I watch a lot of videos of you doing the carve jibe and the body drag and those things. And I learned a lot of that, and I learned how to do a body drag now, and I almost have the carve jibe. So yeah, it's going very great.
Do you know what? I was about to ask if you can body drag. It's the best move there is, I think, in the world. Calf jibes look great. Body drag just looks funny, silly, but it's really good fun to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
And actually, you said you're of course on slalom kit. The bigger, more overpowered you are, the faster you go into it, the further you're going to be able to body drag. It's easier to do it on slalom kit than it is on freestyle kit. You'll keep your speed better. It's great fun.
Yeah, because I normally also do a game. I invented it. I call it invented it. I invented it with a friend in Bonaire. So you try to jibe, but you don't flip the sail. So you switch your feet, but you hold the sail like the wrong side. And then then your other friend is gonna see how long you can hold it. And then if you fall, so imagine I just jibe and I hold it for 11 seconds. And then it's his try. And then he holds it for 12 seconds. That means he won.
Yeah. Love that game. That's so good. And this is at full speed, of course. This isn't non-planing. This is at speed.
Yeah.
Really good for rig control, for feeling and understanding how the sail works, because it feels different when you're running clue first, which is where you are when you've not flicked the sail on the exit. The other fun game you can play then is if you're starting to get the hang of that and you can hold it for 11 or 12 seconds, go for half of your maximum distance. So go 5 seconds, change your feet, but not the rig, and then go back the other way.
Yeah.
So you finish in the same direction you started, but you're effectively making an S in the water. And it becomes kind of like an introduction to wave riding, except you move your feet a bit. But yeah, full speed, round a jibe, change your feet, don't change the rig, and then carve it back the other way. So the whole way through, you're still on the same side as the boom, same side of the boom.
Yeah.
Really good fun. Great practice as well. Okay, so now you've given me a game. We've got a game to play. What else is coming up in the future? What's next for Joëy Ross Windsurf?
Well, I wanted to go to Turkey, but I'm with school, so we're probably not gonna go to Turkey. But I am gonna go to Miami in October. I think October, yes.
Yeah.
For the I think the PWA is there too, so I'm gonna go there. And 2 friends of mine are also coming there. I sailed with them in Bonaire. Yeah. And yeah, so we're all going to see each other there, and then we're going to race against each other again.
That sounds awesome. And there's going to be obviously a lot of other people there that were at the previous PWA in Bonaire that you're now going to come back into competition with.
Yeah.
It's fun, right? It's not too stressful. It's just like, this is cool getting a lot of people on the water that are really good riders.
Yeah, and you know them, so they're very friendly, and they also kind of give you a tip when you do your jibe wrong or something like that, and then they help you.
Good. I think that's the cool thing about windsurfing in general is the atmosphere. You know, it of course is a competition and there's going to be some results, but actually everyone's out there to have a good time. And if someone's struggling with anything, we can all help them out, whether it's just reassuring them that it's going to be fine or giving them some stoke, or actually if they need a technical tip, then great, try doing this or try doing this. So I'm sure you've been a big help to other riders out there as well. The interesting thing, and you just mentioned it there, you're fitting windsurfing and all the other sports all around going to school in Aruba at the same time.
Yeah, normally I go to school and my school finishes at 1:15 in the
just
midday.
Afternoon. Yeah,
in the afternoon, and then I normally be at 3:30, then I'm on the water, so I have almost 1 hour to do gaming or something or do homework, and then I change, put all the gear in the car, and then me and my mom normally drive to the beach, and then she just sits on her chair on the beach and she watches me go windsurf.
Nice. We need to teach her how to fly a drone. Maybe she got a personal drone pilot to film you just there.
Yeah, my dad has a drone, but he's kind of scared that he's gonna lose it.
Yeah, they're getting easier to fly now, but yeah, it's definitely a nervous thing. And flying a drone in gusty winds, although it sounds cleaner there than it is here, it can be pretty tricky.
Yeah.
Nice. Joey, I'm sure lots of people are listening to this just now. Is there any words of advice you want to give? Maybe there's some other young windsurfers just getting into the sport that have seen you and gone, Joëy Ross, he's the windsurfer. Like, how do I become Joey? What can I do? What advice would you give them?
So the same as we just talked about, we can try the S thing. So you drive, but you don't flip the sail, and you hold it for 5 seconds, and then you turn around again. So if you ever go wave sailing later, it's maybe going to be a little more easy. And I normally try to jump as high as I can with my slalom gear if I see a good wave. So I kind of get the feeling of freestyling and how high you can get, and you can't turn in the air because your fin is out of the water. So you almost have no control out of your thing. So always when you jump, try to be as straight as you can, so you don't be like a worm. So you don't like snake in the air.
Yeah. So staying stiff in a jump. Okay. And it's so easy to forget, but you're 11 years old and you're full power jumping, blasting in the straps. There's a lot of 11, 15, even younger, 7 and 8 year olds when you first begun that are still at the stage where it's frustrating and I can't really get sailing in a straight line. So remind us, your nickname was the Duracell Bunny?
Yeah.
As in full power all the time, spending, what did you say, 6 hours a day on the water? Would it be a fair thing to say that the more time you spend windsurfing and windsurfing with friends, would that really help them out too?
Yeah, because if you get more friends on the water, because I have that reef, normally there's like some people, but not always, on that reef. And then you can just go to them and go ask them if they can look at your jibe, because if they're better than you, they probably know how to jibe better. So they can give you the tips that they know so you can become better. And if you practice with yourself a lot, then you can maybe give other people tips so they can become better and better. So that's how more people get into windsurfing.
Love it. I think it's all about sharing the stoke, isn't it? Sharing the atmosphere, sharing the vibe.
Yeah.
Amazing. Joey, thank you so much for joining us here today on the Starboard Podcast. Remember that name once again, joey.ross.windsurf on Instagram is the handle you want to find out about. Follow him and see what's going on. There's going to be stories and pictures and posts and everything going crazy over the next couple of weeks and months. And as you move forward in the PWA, I'm sure. And I think you're going to be a huge name to look out for in the next few years as you progress and get even more stuck into what is possibly the most addictive sport in the world. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, totally. Because it's healthy, you get stronger. Yeah, you get to know more about the wind and the ocean. Yeah.
No, love it. Brilliant. Joey, thank you so much for joining us here. Best of luck with the competitions coming up, all of the training and everything that's going on. Make sure you keep up with your schoolwork. It's going to be easy to fall behind on that. And we'll be looking on the results. We'll be looking on the live feeds. It's going to be all over the internet everywhere as soon as the junior PWA and everything else starts popping in there. So really best of luck with everything. And if I'm coming to Aruba, I'll be knocking on your door. And if you're coming here it's got even windier out there behind me in Vassiliki, then you're of course welcome to come and windsurf with us. It'd be so good to have you here. Yeah, if you come to Aruba, you can sleep in my house. And then in the morning we go windsurf at Parcadera. It's also a place in Aruba. It's perfect to freestyle because there are pretty good chops, but not like really waves. But it's very great to freestyle there. And it's like a channel and the wind funnels through the channel. So it's perfect. And there are almost no boats and almost no turtles. So that's a good thing. But you don't want to step on the coral there because it's sharp. Yeah, I can imagine that. I've done my time stepping on corals out in Egypt. I was there for a long time. Brilliant. Oh, wow. Joey, thank you so much. We will bring you back onto the podcast, I hope, soon after we get some results from the Miami PWA. So thanks again. Best of luck. And we'll speak to you again soon. Thank you.